but that isn't the correct spelling of the name. He's an Idaho rancher, and he spells it Hirschchi. But anyhow, it's been attributed to Anonymous and to Bill Hershey, the candy bar type, and there's no official title as far as I know, but here we go with this little story. Now, I'm not much for shopping, and I rarely go to town. Except for cattle shipping time, I ain't easily found. But one day I just had to go, and so I left the kids with Ma. But before I left, she asked, "Would you pick me up a bra?" Well, without thinking, I said, "Why, sure. How tough could that job be?" I kissed her goodbye and said, "I'll be back by 3. Well, I did what I needed, and then I was starting to regret ever offering to buy that thing. I was working me up a sweat. But I went into that women's store, my hat pulled over my eyes. I didn't want to take a chance on being recognized. But then I walked right up to that lady clerk, and I didn't hem or haw. I said, I didn't hem or haw. I just blurted right out, "Ma'am, I'm here to buy a bra." Well, I heard some snickers from behind. I turned around to see that every woman in that store was a gawking right at me. Now, what kind would you be looking for? Well, I scratched my head. I'd only seen one kind before. Thought bras was bras, I said. She said, "Well, that's where," she gave me a dirty look and said, "Well, that's where you're wrong." And I heard her say, "Follow me," and so I tagged along. And then she led me down this aisle where the bras were on display. My God, I thought my jaw would hit the floor when I saw all that lingerie. They had all these styles that I had never seen before. I thought I'd go crazy before I left that women's store. Well, they had bras you could wear for 18 hours, and bras that cross your heart, and bras that lift and separate, and that was just the start. They had bras you could wear they had bras that you would make you think you weren't wearing one at all, and they had bras that you train in, like when you start off when you're small. But I picked up one, a black and lacy one. I picked one out, a black and lacy one. I told the lady to bag it up, and I figured I was done. And then she said, "Well, what size?" Well, I didn't hesitate. I knew that measurement by heart. A 6 7/8. Well, I thought she'd go into shock. It must have took her by surprise when I told her my wife's bust was the same as my hat size. Well, that's what I used to measure, and I thought that it was fair. But if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, ma'am. And that drew another stare. By then, a crowd had gathered, and they were all a-cracking up when the lady asked to see my hat to measure for the cup. Well, when she got it figured, I gave the gal her pay, turned to leave the store, and tipped my hat and said good day. Now, my wife had heard the story before I ever made it home. 15 women had called her on the phone. But now I didn't care, because she don't ask and I don't shop for women's underwear.